Here's one statistic that should wake you up. After age 60, you lose up to 8% of your muscle mass every single decade. But here's what they don't tell you. Most of that loss happens in your legs first. Your quads, your calves, your glutes, the very foundation that keeps you independent, mobile, and safe from falls. Now, here's the second thing that might surprise you. The weakness creeping into your legs right now isn't just about getting older. It's about specific mistakes you're making every single day that are literally stealing your strength. And I'm going to show you exactly how to reverse this process, starting today. But the most shocking truth? The one thing that could change everything for your legs, your balance, and your future independence is something you can do in under 2 minutes a day. Something so simple that most people dismiss it. Yet it's more powerful than expensive physical therapy, more effective than complicated equipment, and safer than risky medications. I want you to comment below and tell me your age and where you're watching from. Are you already feeling that weakness in your legs when you climb stairs or get up from a chair? Because everything I'm about to share with you works whether you're just starting to notice the problem or whether it's been bothering you for years. Let me start with mistake number 6. You're sitting like your life depends on it. And I mean that literally. The average person over 60 sits for 11 hours every single day. 11 hours. That's more time than you spend sleeping. Every minute you sit, the blood flow to your leg muscles drops by 90%. Why does this matter so much? Your leg muscles are like sponges. They need constant blood flow to stay strong and healthy. When you sit for hours, those sponges dry up. The muscle fibers start to break down. Your nervous system forgets how to fire those muscles properly. It's like having a car that sits in the garage for months. When you finally need it, the battery's dead and the engine won't turn. Research from major rehabilitation centers shows that people who sit more than 8 hours daily lose leg strength twice, as fast as those who move regularly throughout the day. The decline accelerates after just 30 minutes of continuous sitting. Your muscles literally start shutting down. Meet Margaret, 72, a retired librarian who loved reading mystery novels. She'd spend entire afternoons in her favorite chair, book after book. Then one day she stood up and her legs gave out completely. She fell right there in her living room. That's when she realized her daily reading marathons were destroying her leg strength. We worked together to build movement breaks into her reading routine. Every 20 minutes, she'd stand up, march in place for 30 seconds, then sit back down. Within 3 weeks, her legs felt stronger. Within 6 weeks, she could climb her stairs without gripping the railing, all from breaking up those long sitting sessions. Here's your protocol. Set a timer for every 20 minutes. When it goes off, stand up and march in place for 30 seconds. If marching feels too challenging, just stand and shift your weight from one foot to the other. The key is breaking that 11-hour sitting cycle. Your leg muscles will thank you. Your circulation will improve, and you'll start feeling steadier on your feet almost immediately. But here's where it gets worse. Mistake number 5 is how you're walking, or rather, how you're not walking. Most people over 60 have developed what I call shuffle walking. Short, tentative steps, feet barely lifting off the ground, head down, watching every step like the ground might disappear. This shuffle walk is actually training your legs to be weak. When you take tiny steps, you're only using about 30% of your leg muscle capacity. Your hip flexors get tight and weak. Your glutes forget how to fire. Your balance systems start shutting down because they're not being challenged. The mechanism is straightforward. Your brain follows a simple rule. Use it or lose it. When you shuffle, you're telling your brain that you don't need strong, coordinated leg muscles, so your brain starts redirecting resources elsewhere. The neural pathways that control your legs get weaker every single day. Studies from movement research centers indicate that stride length directly correlates with leg strength and fall risk. People who maintain longer, more purposeful strides show significantly better muscle activation and balance control as they age. Take Robert, 68, a former construction foreman who prided himself on being tough and capable. After retirement, he started shuffling around his house, taking tiny, careful steps. His wife noticed it first. Then his adult children started commenting. Within 6 months, he felt like an old man, unsteady and fearful. We started with a simple walking practice. Every day, he'd walk to his mailbox focusing on longer, more deliberate steps, lifting his feet higher, looking ahead instead of down. It felt awkward at first, but within 2 weeks he noticed his legs felt more solid underneath him. After a month, his confidence was back. He started taking longer walks around the neighborhood. His shuffle walk was gone. Your walking protocol starts right now. When you walk anywhere, focus on 3 things. Longer steps, like you're stepping over small puddles. Lift your feet higher, like you're walking through tall grass. Keep your head up, looking ahead instead of down at the ground. Practice this for just 5 minutes twice a day. Your leg muscles will start firing properly again, your balance will improve, and you'll feel more confident with every step. Here's the kicker though. Even if you fix your sitting and your walking, mistake number 4 will still sabotage your leg strength. You're afraid of your own muscles. You've been conditioned to think that anything challenging or slightly difficult is dangerous at your age. So you avoid stairs. You use elevators instead of walking up one flight. You hold on to railings when you don't really need them. You ask for help lifting things you could handle yourself. This fear-based approach is the fastest way to lose your leg strength. Your muscles respond to challenge. They grow stronger when they're asked to work a little harder than they're used to. When you consistently choose the easy path, you're literally teaching your legs to be weak. Here's the simple truth. Your leg muscles at 60, 70, or 80 are still capable of getting stronger. They still respond to progressive challenge just like they did when you were 30. The difference is you need to be smarter about how you challenge them, not avoid challenge altogether. Research from geriatric strength training programs demonstrates that people in their 70s and 80s can increase leg strength by 20 to 40% within 12 weeks of appropriate progressive training. The key word is progressive. Gradual increases in challenge, not avoiding challenge entirely. Consider Patricia, 65, a retired teacher who had become terrified of stairs after a small stumble months earlier. She started using the elevator for everything, even going up one floor to her dentist's office. Her legs got weaker from lack of use, which made her even more afraid. It became a vicious cycle. We started with a simple stair protocol. Every morning, she'd walk up and down her front porch steps 3 times, holding the railing lightly for balance but not gripping it tightly. Each week, we added one more trip up and down. After a month, she was confidently climbing stairs without fear. Her legs were stronger than they'd been in years. Your challenge protocol is this. Find one small physical challenge in your daily routine. Maybe it's walking up one flight of stairs instead of taking the elevator. Maybe it's carrying your own groceries to the car. Maybe it's standing up from a chair without using your arms to push off. Start small, be consistent, and gradually make it slightly more challenging each week. Your legs will respond by getting stronger, and your confidence will grow with them. But now we get to the big one. Mistake number 3 is the one that's probably hitting you right now as you watch this. You think leg weakness is inevitable. You've accepted it as just part of getting older. You say things like, "Well, I'm not 20 anymore," or, "At my age, what do you expect?" This acceptance mindset is destroying your legs faster than any physical problem ever could. When you believe weakness is inevitable, you stop fighting it. You stop looking for solutions. You make choices that accommodate weakness instead of choices that build strength. The truth is, age-related muscle loss is real, but it's not inevitable or irreversible. Your muscles don't have an expiration date. They don't know how old you are. They only know how you use them or don't use them. Some of the strongest, most capable people I know are in their 70s and 80s. They didn't accept weakness as inevitable. They chose to fight for their strength. The mechanism here is both physical and psychological. When you expect to be weak, you unconsciously make choices that confirm that expectation. You avoid challenges, you move less, you ask for help when you don't need it. Your brain interprets these choices as evidence that you're indeed getting weaker. So it continues the muscle breakdown process. Clinical observations from successful aging programs show that mindset about physical capabilities directly influences actual physical outcomes. People who maintain a growth mindset about their strength show better muscle retention and faster improvement when they do engage in strengthening activities. Meet Frank, 74, a retired mechanic who had completely given up on his leg strength. He told his family he was falling apart and too old for this. He'd given up his woodworking hobby because he couldn't stand for long periods. His legs felt weak and unstable. But his granddaughter convinced him to try a different approach. Instead of accepting weakness, we focused on what his legs could still do. We started with tiny progressions, standing for 5 minutes while talking on the phone, walking to the end of his driveway each morning. Small victories that proved his legs weren't hopeless. Within 6 weeks, he was back in his workshop for short periods. Within 3 months, he'd built a beautiful jewelry box for his granddaughter. His legs weren't 20 years old, but they were capable of so much more than he'd believed. Your mindset protocol starts with changing your internal dialogue. Instead of, "I'm too old for this," try, "I'm learning how to do this safely at my age." Instead of, "My legs are getting weak," try, "My legs are getting stronger every day." Instead of, "I can't," try, "I can't yet, but I'm working on it." This isn't positive thinking nonsense. This is rewiring your brain to look for possibilities instead of limitations. Your legs will respond to this shift faster than you think possible. Now, here's where most people make their second biggest mistake. Mistake number 2. You're doing the wrong exercises. You've been told to do seated leg lifts, ankle pumps, and resistance band exercises that barely challenge your muscles. These gentle movements might make you feel like you're doing something, but they're not nearly intense enough to build real leg strength. Your legs are designed to carry your entire body weight upstairs, help you get out of chairs, keep you balanced when you stumble. They need to be trained for these real-world demands, not for lifting 2-pound ankle weights while you sit in a chair. The most effective exercises for leg strength after 60 are the ones that mimic the movements you actually need in daily life. Getting up from chairs, climbing stairs, standing on one foot, walking on uneven surfaces. These functional movements engage multiple muscle groups at once and train your nervous system to coordinate strength with balance. Why does this matter so much? When you do seated exercises, you're training your muscles in isolation. But real life requires your muscles to work together as a team. It's like learning to play piano by practicing each hand separately, but never putting them together. You might get good at the individual parts, but you'll struggle when it's time to play a real song. Movement research from rehabilitation centers confirms that functional exercises produce better real-world strength gains than isolated muscle exercises. People who train with functional movements show significantly better performance in daily activities and lower fall risk. Look at Dorothy, 69, a retired nurse who had been faithfully doing seated leg exercises for 2 years. She'd sit in her chair and lift her legs up and down with ankle weights. But she still struggled to get out of low chairs and felt unsteady on stairs. The problem was that her exercises weren't matching her real-world needs. We switched to functional exercises, chair stands without using her arms, step-ups on her front porch, single leg standing while brushing her teeth. Within 4 weeks, she noticed a dramatic difference. Getting out of chairs became effortless. Stairs felt secure and manageable. She was training her legs for the movement she actually needed. Your functional exercise protocol is surprisingly simple. 3 exercises, 3 times a week. First, chair stands. Sit in a firm chair, cross your arms over your chest and stand up without using your hands. Start with 5 repetitions, work up to 15. Second, step-ups. Use your front steps or a sturdy platform. Step up with one foot, bring the other foot up, then step back down. Start with 5 per leg, work up to 10. Third, single leg stands. Stand on one foot for as long as you can, using a wall for light balance support if needed. Start with 10 seconds per leg, work up to 30. These 3 exercises will build more real-world leg strength than hours of seated exercises. You won't believe what mistake number 1 is. It's so counterintuitive that most people do the exact opposite of what actually works. Here it is. You're trying to save your energy instead of spending it. You've gotten into the habit of conserving your energy for important things. You take the elevator to save energy for walking. You drive to the corner store to save energy for shopping. You sit down every chance you get to save energy for later. This energy conservation approach is the fastest way to lose leg strength and feel weaker overall. Energy works exactly opposite to how most people think. The more you spend, the more you have. The more you move, the stronger you feel. The more you challenge your legs, the more capable they become. Your body is incredibly smart. When you consistently try to save energy, your body interprets this as a signal that you don't need much energy. So it starts reducing your energy production systems. Your muscles get smaller because you're not using them. Your cardiovascular system gets weaker because you're not challenging it. Your nervous system becomes less coordinated because you're not asking it to perform. Think of it like this. Energy is like a river. If you dam it up and try to save it, it becomes stagnant and eventually dries up. But if you let it flow and use it, it keeps moving and stays fresh and abundant. Your leg muscles work the same way. Use them regularly and they stay strong and capable. Try to save them and they atrophy and weaken. Research from energy metabolism studies shows that people who maintain higher daily energy expenditure actually report feeling more energetic, not less. The body responds to increased demand by increasing capacity, not by becoming depleted. Consider James, 71, a retired accountant who had become obsessed with saving his energy. He'd plan his entire day around minimizing walking, avoiding stairs, and sitting as much as possible. He thought he was being smart, but he felt more and more tired and weak every month. His legs felt heavy and unreliable. We completely flipped his approach. Instead of saving energy, we focused on spending it wisely. He started parking farther away from store entrances. He took stairs instead of elevators whenever possible. He stood while talking on the phone. He walked to nearby stores instead of driving. At first he was worried he'd be exhausted, but the opposite happened. Within 2 weeks he felt more energetic than he had in months. His legs felt lighter and stronger. By spending his energy instead of hoarding it, he actually had more energy available. Your energy spending protocol is simple but powerful. Look for opportunities to move instead of opportunities to rest. Take the long way to the bathroom. Stand while waiting for appointments. Walk while talking on the phone. Choose stairs over elevators when it's just 1 or 2 floors. Park a little farther from entrances. These small energy expenditures will compound into significant strength gains for your legs and more. Overall energy throughout your day. Now, let me share something that might change how you think about your legs forever. There's a simple test you can do right now that predicts your future better than almost any medical test. It's called the chair stand test. Sit in a firm chair with your arms crossed over your chest. Stand up and sit back down as many times as you can in 30 seconds. Count each complete cycle. If you can do this fewer than 8 times, your leg strength is in the danger zone. You're at high risk for falls, loss of independence, and serious complications from leg weakness. If you can do it 8 to 10 times, you're in the borderline range. You need to take action now before things get worse. If you can do it more than 10 times, your leg strength is in the healthy range, but you still need to maintain it. This simple test correlates with your ability to live independently, your fall risk, your likelihood of needing assistive devices, and even your life expectancy. It's not about the number itself. It's about what the number tells you about the current state of your leg muscles and what you need to do about it. The beautiful thing about this test is that it also becomes your solution. The chair stand exercise is one of the most effective ways to build leg strength at any age. It's functional, it's safe, it challenges multiple muscle groups at once, and you can do it anywhere you have a chair. Try the test right now if you're able. Don't worry about your score. Just get a baseline so you know where you're starting. Then you can track your progress as you implement the strategies I'm sharing with you. Here's something most people don't realize about leg strength. It's not just about your legs. When your legs are strong, everything else in your body works better. Your posture improves because your legs provide a stable foundation. Your balance improves because strong legs can react quickly to prevent falls. Your confidence improves because you trust your body to support you. But when your legs are weak, everything suffers. You compensate by using your arms more, which can lead to shoulder and back problems. You become more cautious, which can lead to anxiety and fear of movement. You avoid activities you used to enjoy, which can lead to social isolation and depression. Your legs are literally the foundation of your independence. They determine whether you can get out of chairs without help, climb stairs safely, walk to the store, travel to visit family, or maintain your own home. When you lose leg strength, you don't just lose muscle. You lose freedom. That's why working on your leg strength isn't vanity or optional self-care. It's an investment in your future independence and quality of life. Every rep you do, every step you take, every time you choose the stairs over the elevator, you're making a deposit in your future mobility account. Think about what you want to be doing 5 years from now. Do you want to be traveling to visit grandchildren? Working in your garden? Dancing at family weddings? Walking on the beach during vacations? All of these activities require strong, capable legs. The work you do today determines whether these activities will be possible tomorrow. Let me tell you about the most powerful exercise for leg strength that you've probably never heard of. It's called the wall sit, and it's incredibly simple but devastatingly effective. You stand with your back against a wall and slide down until your thighs are parallel to the floor, like you're sitting in an invisible chair. Then you hold that position for as long as you can. This exercise builds strength in your quadriceps, glutes, and calves all at the same time. It teaches your muscles to work together as a team. It builds the kind of endurance strength that translates directly to daily activities like climbing stairs and getting out of chairs. Start by holding the wall sit for just 10 seconds. Add 5 seconds each week. Work your way up to holding it for 1 full minute. When you can hold a wall sit for 60 seconds, your legs will be strong enough to handle almost any daily activity with confidence and ease. The wall sit is also self-adjusting for safety. If it becomes too challenging, you simply slide up the wall a little bit to make it easier. If you need more challenge, you slide down further. Your body weight provides the resistance, so you can't overdo it or use too much weight. Here's another movement that will revolutionize your leg strength. It's called the calf raise, but I want you to do it a specific way. Stand with the balls of your feet on a step or curb, with your heels hanging off the edge. Lower your heels below the level of the step until you feel a stretch in your calves. Then push up onto your tiptoes as high as you can go. Lower back down slowly. This exercise strengthens your calves and improves your balance at the same time. Strong calves are essential for walking, climbing stairs, and preventing falls. They're like the shock absorbers for your legs, helping to cushion every step you take. Start with 10 repetitions and work your way up to 20. Do this exercise every other day. Hold on to a railing or wall for balance if you need to, but try to rely on your own balance as much as possible. Your calves will get stronger, your balance will improve, and you'll feel more stable on your feet. Now, I want to talk about something that might surprise you. Your leg strength is directly connected to your brain health. When you walk, climb stairs, or do leg exercises, you're not just working your muscles. You're also stimulating your brain in ways that improve memory, cognitive function, and mood. The mechanism is fascinating. When your leg muscles contract, they release proteins called myokines into your bloodstream. These proteins travel to your brain and stimulate the growth of new brain cells. They also improve the connections between existing brain cells. It's like fertilizer for your brain. This means that every time you work your legs, you're literally growing a healthier brain. Studies show that people who maintain leg strength as they age also maintain better cognitive function. They have lower rates of dementia and better memory performance. So, when you're doing your chair stands or wall sits, remember that you're not just building stronger legs, you're building a stronger mind. You're investing in your cognitive future as well as your physical future. Let's talk about balance for a moment. Balance and leg strength are intimately connected. You can't have good balance without strong legs, and you can't maintain leg strength without challenging your balance. They work together as a team. Most people think balance is about their inner ear or their vision, but the truth is that balance is primarily about your leg's ability to make quick, strong adjustments to keep you upright. When you start to fall, it's your leg muscles that catch you and bring you back to center. Here's a simple balance challenge that will also build leg strength. Stand on one foot for as long as you can. Start with your eyes open, using a wall for light support if needed. When you can stand on one foot for 30 seconds with your eyes open, try it with your eyes closed. This challenges your proprioception, which is your body's sense of where it is in space. Practice single leg standing every day. Do it while you're brushing your teeth, waiting for coffee to brew, or talking on the phone. Your balance will improve dramatically, and your legs will get stronger from the constant micro-adjustments they're making to keep you upright. Here's something that might change how you think about walking forever. The way you walk can either make your legs stronger or weaker. Most people over 60 have developed what I call protective walking. They take shorter steps, move more slowly, and keep their feet close to the ground to feel safer. But this protective walking pattern actually makes you more likely to fall, not less. When you take short, shuffling steps, you're unstable for a longer period of time during each step. You're also not challenging your leg muscles enough to keep them strong. Confident walking, on the other hand, involves longer strides, higher foot clearance, and a more upright posture. This pattern is not only safer, but also strengthens your legs with every step you take. Practice confident walking for 5 minutes every day. Focus on lifting your feet higher, taking longer steps, and keeping your head up. It might feel awkward at first if you've gotten used to protective walking, but your legs will adapt quickly. Within a week, you'll notice that confident walking actually feels more natural and stable than the shuffling pattern you might have developed. Let me share something that most people don't know about stairs. Stairs are one of the best leg strengthening tools available, but most people use them wrong. They hold on to the railing like their life depends on it, lean forward, and take tiny steps. This turns stairs into a fear-inducing challenge instead of a strengthening opportunity. Here's how to use stairs to build leg strength. Hold the railing lightly for safety, but don't grip it tightly or pull yourself up with your arms. Keep your torso upright, not leaning forward. Take one step per stair, not placing both feet on each step. Push through your heel as you step up, engaging your glutes and quadriceps. Going downstairs is just as important as going up. Control your descent with your leg muscles rather than just falling from one step to the next. This builds eccentric strength, which is crucial for preventing falls and maintaining control during daily activities. If you have stairs in your home, use them as a daily strengthening tool. Go up and down an extra time or two each day. If you don't have stairs at home, find a set of steps elsewhere. Many parks, libraries, and public buildings have short sets of stairs that are perfect for this purpose. Now, let's talk about something that might be sabotaging your leg strength without you realizing it. Your shoes. The shoes you wear every day have a huge impact on how your leg muscles function. Most people over 60 wear shoes that are too cushioned, too supportive, and too restrictive. While these shoes might feel comfortable, they're actually weakening your legs over time. When your shoes do all the work of stabilizing and supporting your feet, your leg muscles don't have to work as hard. Over time, they become weaker and less responsive. Your feet contain 26 bones, 33 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments. They're designed to be strong and capable. When you wrap them in overly supportive shoes, you're essentially putting them in casts that prevent them from functioning properly. Consider switching to shoes with less cushioning and support for part of your day. Your leg muscles will have to work harder to stabilize and balance your body, which will make them stronger over time. Start slowly, wearing less supportive shoes for just an hour or two at first, then gradually increasing the time as your legs adapt. Walking barefoot when it's safe to do so is also excellent for leg strength and balance. Your feet can feel the ground beneath them. Your leg muscles have to work harder to maintain stability, and your balance systems get better input about your position in space. Let me tell you about a simple breathing technique that can improve your leg strength instantly. It's called bracing, and it involves tightening your core muscles before lifting, pushing, or performing any challenging leg exercise. Here's how it works. Before you stand up from a chair, take a deep breath and tighten your abdominal muscles like someone is about to punch you in the stomach. Keep this tension as you stand up. This bracing technique increases the stability of your spine and allows your leg muscles to work more efficiently. The same technique works for climbing stairs, lifting objects, or doing any leg exercises. Breathe in, brace your core, then perform the movement while maintaining that core tension. You'll immediately notice that your legs feel stronger and more stable. This isn't just a trick. Bracing creates what's called intra-abdominal pressure, which stabilizes your spine and creates a solid foundation for your limbs to work from. It's like the difference between trying to lift something while standing on solid ground versus trying to lift something while standing on a waterbed. Practice bracing throughout your day. Use it when getting out of chairs, climbing stairs, lifting groceries, or doing any leg exercises. Your legs will feel stronger immediately, and over time, this technique will become automatic. Here's something that might surprise you about protein. Most people over 60 don't eat nearly enough protein to maintain their leg muscle mass. The current recommendations for protein intake are based on preventing deficiency, not optimizing muscle health. For maintaining and building leg strength, you need significantly more protein than the basic recommendations suggest. Research shows that people over 60 need at least 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight per day to maintain muscle mass and up to 1.6 grams per kilogram to build new muscle. That means if you weigh 150 pounds, you need at least 68 grams of protein per day, and possibly up to 109 grams. Most people struggle to get even half of this amount. They have toast for breakfast, a small sandwich for lunch, and a modest portion of meat for dinner. This protein distribution is also problematic because your body can only use about 20 to 30 grams of protein at once for muscle building. The solution is to spread your protein intake throughout the day and aim for 20 to 30 grams at each meal. Have eggs or Greek yogurt for breakfast. Add protein powder to a smoothie for a snack. Have chicken or fish for lunch, and include another protein source at dinner. Your leg muscles are constantly breaking down and rebuilding themselves. If you don't provide adequate protein for this rebuilding process, the breakdown wins and your muscles get weaker over time. With adequate protein, especially when combined with leg strengthening exercises, the rebuilding wins and your muscles get stronger. Let me share something about sleep that directly impacts your leg strength. Most people don't realize that muscle repair and growth happen primarily during deep sleep. If you're not getting quality sleep, your leg strengthening efforts won't be nearly as effective. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, which stimulates muscle repair and growth. It also clears metabolic waste from your muscles and replenishes energy stores. Poor sleep disrupts all of these processes and can actually accelerate muscle loss. The good news is that leg strengthening exercises can improve your sleep quality. Regular physical activity, especially exercises that challenge your leg muscles, helps you fall asleep faster and spend more time in deep sleep. It's a positive cycle where better exercise leads to better sleep, which leads to better recovery and stronger muscles. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night, and pay attention to your sleep environment. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Avoid screens for at least an hour before bedtime. Consider a consistent bedtime routine that signals to your body that it's time to rest and recover. Now, let's talk about hydration and its impact on leg strength. Your muscles are approximately 75% water. When you're dehydrated, even mildly, your muscle function suffers significantly. Dehydration reduces blood flow to your muscles, impairs nutrient delivery, and makes your muscles fatigue more quickly. Many people over 60 are chronically mildly dehydrated because the sensation of thirst diminishes with age. You might not feel thirsty even when your body needs more fluids. This chronic dehydration contributes to muscle weakness, fatigue, and poor exercise performance. The solution is to drink water consistently throughout the day rather than waiting until you feel thirsty. Aim for 8 glasses of water per day, more if you're active or in a hot environment. You can tell if you're adequately hydrated by checking the color of your urine. It should be pale yellow, not dark yellow or amber. Proper hydration will make your leg exercises more effective, reduce muscle fatigue, and help with recovery after exercise. You'll notice that well-hydrated muscles feel stronger and more responsive than dehydrated ones. Here's a movement pattern that most people have lost but is crucial for leg strength. It's called the hip hinge, and it's the foundation of many daily activities like picking things up from the floor, gardening, and getting in and out of cars. The hip hinge involves bending at your hips while keeping your back straight and your knees slightly bent. Most people instead bend their backs and strain their spines, which leads to back pain and doesn't engage the leg muscles properly. To practice the hip hinge, stand with your feet hip-width apart and place your hands on your hips. Push your hips back like you're trying to touch a wall behind you with your buttocks. Keep your chest up and your back straight. You should feel a stretch in your hamstrings and engagement in your glutes. This movement pattern strengthens your glutes and hamstrings while protecting your back. Practice it daily and use it whenever you need to bend over to pick something up. Your legs will get stronger and you'll avoid back strain. Let me tell you about a simple exercise that builds incredible leg strength and can be done anywhere. It's called the squat, but I want you to think of it as practicing getting out of chairs. The movement is exactly the same, but the mindset shift makes it more functional and less intimidating. Stand with your feet hip-width apart and your toes pointing slightly outward. Lower yourself down as if you're sitting back into a chair, keeping your chest up and your knees in line with your toes. Go down as far as you comfortably can, then push through your heels to return to standing. Start with just your body weight and focus on proper form. If full squats are too challenging, use a chair as a target. Sit back until you lightly touch the chair, then stand back up. As you get stronger, you can squat lower and eventually eliminate the chair altogether. Squats work your quadriceps, glutes, and calves all at the same time. They build the exact strength pattern you need for getting out of chairs, climbing stairs, and maintaining independence. Do 10 to 15 squats 3 times per week, and your leg strength will improve dramatically. Here's something that might change how you think about your daily routine. Every activity you do is either making your legs stronger or weaker. There's no neutral. Sitting for hours makes them weaker. Taking the elevator makes them weaker. Using your arms to push yourself out of chairs makes them weaker. But walking instead of driving makes them stronger. Taking the stairs makes them stronger. Standing while talking on the phone makes them stronger. Carrying your own groceries makes them stronger. The key is to look for opportunities throughout your day to choose the option that challenges your legs instead of the option that avoids challenge. This doesn't mean you have to make every single choice the hard way. It means being intentional about creating opportunities for your legs to work. Maybe you take the elevator going up but walk down the stairs. Maybe you park a little farther away at the grocery store but use a cart inside. Small choices compound into significant strength gains over time. Let me share a story about transformation that might inspire you. Eleanor was 78 when her daughter brought her to see me. She was using a walker, afraid to go anywhere alone, and convinced that her weak legs were just part of getting old. Her daughter was worried about her mother's rapid decline and loss of independence. Eleanor had fallen into every trap I've described. She sat most of the day to conserve energy. She shuffled when she walked to avoid falling. She used her arms to push herself out of every chair. She took elevators even for one floor. She had accepted weakness as inevitable. We started small, very small. Eleanor would stand up from her chair without using her arms just once per day. She would walk to the end of her driveway each morning. She would stand while talking on the phone for just 5 minutes. These tiny changes felt manageable, not overwhelming. Within 2 weeks, Eleanor noticed that standing up felt easier. Within a month, she was walking to the mailbox without her walker. Within 3 months, she was cooking dinner standing up, walking around the block and climbing the stairs in her home. Within 6 months, she was volunteering at her church, driving herself to appointments, and living completely independently. Eleanor's legs weren't broken. They weren't too old. They just needed to be reminded what they were capable of. The same is true for your legs. They're waiting for you to give them a chance to be strong again. Your transformation doesn't have to take months. You can start seeing improvements in just days. The first thing you'll notice is that standing up from chairs feels easier. Then you'll notice that your legs feel more solid underneath you when you walk. Then you'll start feeling more confident about stairs, uneven surfaces, and challenging situations. The progression builds on itself. As your legs get stronger, you'll naturally choose more challenging activities. As you choose more challenging activities, your legs will get even stronger. It becomes a positive upward spiral instead of the negative downward spiral that leads to weakness and dependence. Here's the most important thing I want you to understand. Your legs don't care how old you are. They don't know if you're 60 or 90. They only respond to how you use them. If you challenge them progressively and consistently, they will get stronger. If you baby them and try to save them, they will get weaker. It's that simple. The exercises I've shared with you aren't complicated or dangerous. Chair stands, wall sits, calf raises, squats, single leg stands. These are movements your body is designed to do. Your legs are built for these activities. You're not asking them to do anything unnatural or extreme. What is unnatural is sitting for 11 hours a day. What is extreme is avoiding stairs, using elevators for one floor, and shuffling around like your legs are made of glass. These are the behaviors that are actually dangerous to your long-term health and independence. Let me give you a simple weekly routine that incorporates everything we've discussed. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, do your strength exercises. 10 chair stands, a 30-second wall sit, 10 calf raises on each foot, and 10 squats. Hold a single leg stand for as long as you can on each foot. This entire routine takes less than 10 minutes. On Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, focus on movement integration. Take the stairs when you encounter them. Park a little farther away from entrances. Stand while talking on the phone. Walk to nearby destinations instead of driving. Practice confident walking for 5 minutes. Break up long sitting periods every 20 minutes. Every day, pay attention to your protein intake, stay hydrated, use proper bracing technique, and prioritize good sleep. These supporting factors will make your exercises more effective and your progress faster. Track your progress with the chair stand test we discussed earlier. Test yourself once per week. Count how many times you can stand up and sit down in 30 seconds. Watch that number improve week after week. It's incredibly motivating to see concrete evidence that your legs are getting stronger. Remember, this isn't about becoming an athlete or competing with anyone else. This is about maintaining and improving the strength you need for daily life. The strength to get out of bed in the morning without struggling. The strength to climb stairs without fear. The strength to walk confidently on any surface. The strength to maintain your independence for as long as possible. Your legs are the foundation of your freedom. They determine where you can go, what you can do, and how you feel about yourself. When your legs are strong, you feel capable and confident. When they're weak, everything becomes harder and scarier. The choice is yours. You can continue down the path of accepting weakness as inevitable, making choices that accommodate decline, and gradually losing your independence. Or you can choose to fight for your strength, challenge your legs progressively, and maintain or even improve your capabilities as you age. The strategies I've shared with you work. They work for people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. They work for people who are just starting to notice leg weakness and for people who have been struggling with it for years. They work because they're based on how your body actually functions, not on age-related assumptions or limitations. But they only work if you use them. Information without action is worthless. You can understand everything about leg strength, But if you don't stand up from chairs without using your arms, if you don't take the stairs when you have the opportunity, if you don't do the exercises consistently, your legs will continue to get weaker. Start today. Right now. If you're sitting while watching this, stand up without using your arms. If you can do it easily, do it 5 more times. If it's challenging, that's okay. That challenge is exactly what your legs need to get stronger. Do it once today, twice tomorrow, 3 times the next day. Find a set of stairs somewhere in your daily routine. It might be in your home, at a store, in a public building. Instead of avoiding those stairs or taking the elevator, use them as a strengthening opportunity. Walk up and down them with proper form, using the railing for safety but not relying on it to pull yourself up. Set a timer to remind yourself to stand up every 20 minutes. When it goes off, stand up and march in place for 30 seconds, or just shift your weight from one foot to the other. Break the cycle of prolonged sitting that's weakening your legs hour by hour. Pay attention to how you walk. Lift your feet higher, take longer steps, keep your head up. Transform your walking from a protective shuffle into a confident stride that strengthens your legs with every step. Challenge yourself progressively. If chair stands are easy, do more repetitions or hold the bottom position for a few seconds before standing up. If single leg stands are too easy, try closing your eyes or standing on a less stable surface. Always look for ways to make things slightly more challenging as you get stronger. Most importantly, change your mindset about what's possible for your legs. Stop thinking of them as old, weak, or fragile. Start thinking of them as strong, capable, and responsive to training. Your expectations will influence your outcomes more than any exercise ever could. Your legs have carried you through decades of life. They've walked millions of steps, climbed thousands of stairs, supported you through countless activities and adventures. They deserve your respect, your care, and your commitment to keeping them strong. Don't let anyone tell you that leg weakness is inevitable at your age. Don't accept limitations that aren't necessary. Don't give up on activities you enjoy because you think your legs aren't up to the task. Give your legs a chance to surprise you with what they're still capable of. The fountain of youth isn't a magical spring or a miracle supplement. It's strong legs that keep you mobile, independent, and confident as you age. It's the ability to trust your body to support you in any situation. It's the freedom to go where you want to go and do what you want to do without fear or limitation. You have the tools now. You know what weakens your legs and what strengthens them. You know the exercises that build functional strength and the daily habits that support long-term leg health. You know that age is not a barrier to improvement and that your legs are capable of getting stronger starting right now. The only question remaining is what you'll do with this information. Will you implement these strategies consistently and watch your legs transform over the coming weeks and months? Or will you let this knowledge remain unused while your legs continue to weaken? I hope you'll choose strength. I hope you'll choose to fight for your legs and your independence. I hope you'll prove to yourself and everyone around, you that age is not a limitation but simply a number that has no bearing on what your body is capable of achieving. Your legs are waiting for you to give them the challenge and respect they deserve. They're ready to get stronger, more stable, and more capable. The question is, are you ready to let them? Which of these changes will you start with today? And what's motivating you to finally take action for your leg strength?